Hello artists, I'm finally back. Excuse the slight echo on the audio here. I'm in my dad's new house, but we haven't got kind of furniture here yet, so that's if you hear a little bit of reverb. So yeah, I got back to the UK, but instantly became very, very sick. Luckily, I tested negative for the C word, but that's kind of why you haven't seen me for 2 weeks. As you can hear, maybe from my voice and maybe my face looking a bit tired. I still haven't fully recovered, but I want to start making content and get back into the routine because 2 weeks is too long not to make anything. So today I'm going to talk about two things which I think we all suffer from as human beings. And those two things are kind of insecurity and laziness at times. So I wanted to talk about these two subjects and then give some solutions with how I've dealt with them myself as an artist, and hopefully some practical advice that can help you get out of your rut or start feeling more secure about what you're doing and the direction that you're going in. So in the age of the internet, where anyone can just kind of label themselves as anything, anonymous, I can see why, in quite a vicious sense, where people can say anything and everything about you, whether that be your physical looks, your artwork, things that you work hard on. They can spit whatever they want without any kind of, consequences for what they say, except the fact that for some reason it makes them feel like they're, getting a one-up on you or something. I can understand that kind of toxic environment, in a sense, can be quite intimidating to those who are already, independently, you could say, insecure about their work in the first place. So it's kind of like, I understand that some people don't want to put their stuff out there because then when the negative comment or the one negative comment comes along, it kind of confirms all the insecurity or the negative thoughts you had about your work in the first place. So I can understand where people are kind of a bit hesitant to go in that direction. But particularly talking about the internet, I've obviously spoken about this before in one of my most recent videos, is that if you don't find a way to get your artwork out there, to kind of put yourself out there and, expose your work and your practice to people, then you're going to be invisible, and it's going to be very difficult that if this is what you want to do as a career, this is, you want to build an audience or sell your work to people or find people who can sell your work. If you're invisible, it's just not going to happen. So the question is, how do you actually then deal with the inevitable negativity that you will come across sometimes in life with, regardless of what career path you choose, there's going to be resistance from different kinds of people. Some is going to be more of a positive constructive resistance, and other resistance is just going to be whatever. Sometimes people will throw their crap at you and you just have to learn ways to dodge it. But the way I deal with things is you kind of need to see your mind and your positive power as a muscle. It's something you need to train constantly every single day. It's like if you stop working out your biceps, or you've never worked out your biceps, they're not going to be as strong as they could be. So it's the same with kind of what I would call kind of these positivity muscles in your head, or when you're in that kind of situation where you are having negativity thrown towards you. It's in that moment you need to exercise some kind of muscle, some kind of perspective that helps you deal with that situation, so it doesn't negatively affect you and then make you kind of display that behavior at a certain point, or lash out at someone else or at yourself or at your own work or whatever that is. So one of the ways I kind of, deal with or think about these kinds of negative people who are just going to throw their crap at you is that these people, they're in a really bad place to even be doing that in the first place. So don't put yourself in a bad place by listening to their nonsense. What you need to do is just label them as someone who is, whatever you want to say, broken or in a bad place. Because if you are in a place where you are going out of your way, building up all of this negative emotion, consuming at least a fraction of someone else's content, going out of your way to type a negative or disgusting comment about their looks, artwork, what they're doing, making black and white judgments without even knowing a single thing really about that person, you must be in a really crappy place in life to be doing that. So if anything, just feel a bit sorry for these people. Leave them a kind comment or a kind reply, or just tell them how to be more constructive when it comes to criticism, and just say like, look, if you do have valid criticism of what I'm doing or my work, it would be great to say something helpful rather than just insult and spew negativity. And then that's kind of the solution. And yeah, exercise that positivity. Always be exposing yourself to kind of positive voices or things that kind of rile you up. I wouldn't say motivate, because motivation I don't think really exists. If you've worked out your direction and you just put the work in and you've got a system, you will do the work. You don't really need motivation to do stuff, but constantly expose yourself to positivity. That's basically the summary of what I'm trying to say. Now for the second thing that I mentioned, which is laziness. I think laziness is something where you need to really get good at positively criticizing yourself in the most positive way possible and the most constructive way possible. Because what I'm not saying is, I'm not saying you should never rest, never play games, never sit down and watch a series or whatever it is that you enjoy doing when you just feel like doing nothing. This isn't what I'm saying, that you should just be working 24/7, but you do need to question kind of, do you really love what you're doing? I guess really ask yourself, are you putting in enough effort for the goals or the kind of the conclusion of where you really want to be in life on the career side of things? I think the interesting thing about laziness is you really need to ask yourself that if you find yourself just putting off any kind of work, whether that be drawing, painting, sculpting, obviously I'm talking within the artistic context to young artists here, you really, really need to ask yourself, if you're just finding yourself being lazy, is art really something you want to do? Because it's going to come down to two things. If you're not finding yourself interested in doing any work when it comes to the arts, number one is, you either don't like it, you don't enjoy it, because if you really did enjoy it, you'd find yourself doing it and you wouldn't have to motivate yourself or I guess try very hard to do it, because it's something that you enjoy. If you enjoy something, it's not difficult to do it. But on the other hand, it might be, as I said, a kind of an internal insecurity kind of thing where, when you start doing it, even though you enjoy it, you have all of these negative ideas in your head and you feel like you're not good enough, and then you beat yourself up and you beat yourself out of basically doing any work because of your own negativity and insecurity, which is obviously the first thing I spoke about. So I think this laziness and security actually goes hand in hand. But it's really something you need to think about, that if you're not insecure about what you're doing, but you still find yourself doing nothing and being very lazy, question if this is really what you want to do. But once you've worked out, I guess, your own insecurities and I guess how to become more productive as an individual, what you find is you'll be building a system that is a bit more personal to yourself, kind of being more aware of the things maybe that you do with your time. If you really track what you do with your time in a day, it's amazing how much time we waste, whether that be on our phones, doing random things, or just being distracted in general. Having an organized system that you can, follow and really kind of get an idea of how much work you can put in one day, is an amazing kind of step forward. But as I said, we need to be aware of what's going on internally, because it very much affects what's going on externally. So I hope this video has been a bit of a relaxed, I guess, speaking about concepts. But as you can see, my brain is not functioning yet 100%. Not that I was ever good at speaking in my YouTube videos anyways. But I hope you're kind of enjoying this new kind of backdrop. As I said, the echo should go as we get more furniture in here. And as I get my new studio set up, I will be filming that because I am very, very excited to get back to painting and just to have so much more painting videos. And I think I'll start probably a long kind of weekly vlog thing because I will be creating so much more content here now that I'm back in the UK. I just want to recover and get this sickness just fully out of me. Thank goodness it was not the C word. But with that, I will say to you guys, I hope this has been somewhat beneficial. I'm glad to be back. Please drop me a comment about what you think about laziness or insecurity. Any advice that you would give others about how you've handled your own demons, if you are willing to talk about that. Drop me a DM on Instagram if you have any further questions, or as I said, in the comment section below. And here is my awkward goodbye.